Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday evening. I'm going to give you my thoughts regarding UFOs or identified flying objects. Nowadays, they're also called UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Before I get into that, real quick, I was watching some more footage of the just the devastation in Mississippi. It got Alabama, some of Alabama as well, but that town in Mississippi, a couple of towns, just got wiped off the map practically. I mean, let's keep them in prayer, like I mentioned last night, but let's just continue to pray for them. Definitely. That's awful. It's awful. Okay. UAPs, UFOs. Now, I made some notes and I may not go directly, write down the list exactly because I have a lot of different thoughts on them. The way I look at it, and I was talking to Mrs. Dawg about this earlier, but the way I look at it, I mean, definitely something's going on because there's a lot of video. There's increased sightings and such. The media has really ramped up talk about it. The government, the military, the Pentagon has really ramped up all the chatter about UFOs and even suggesting that they could be aliens and that there could be a mothership out there in the solar system, and the mothership is releasing tiny probes to look, to watch, to observe us, and maybe that's part of what the United States shot down, and Russia is claiming they've shot some down as well. And because when they shot those, after the balloon they shot down, there was a few other things they shot down, and they didn't go into detail about what that was. It was kind of a mystery, so we don't really know. But in any case, there's been increased media coverage and mention of it all over the place. So that alone makes me suspicious about what they're planning, what's going to happen, what they're setting up. I get a feeling that we're being set up for something, that's going to come. And I'm going to get to that. But first, uh, the way I look at it, and I've been interested in this for a long time, but the way I look at it, it could be three or four different things. It could be terrestrial, which they could be, originate from Earth, uh, and they could be beings that we're just not that familiar with. Maybe they were here before us, before humans really were made. You know, um, they could be actually extraterrestrial. They could be beings from outside of Earth, maybe outside of the solar system. It could be demonic in nature. It could be part of Satan's fallen angels, or just demonic evil spirits. It could be that. Uh, there's also a theory, I call it the Star Trek theory, where they could be future humans who are spacefaring, who have time travel technology, and they're just coming back for a history lesson. Now if we had that technology now, it would be very tempting to go back and observe uh, key points in history or just history in general. You know, it would be very interesting. What would you pick? What would you go back and observe? The Last Supper. The birth of Christ. Um, the beginning of a war. You know, it would be super, super interesting. So, really, kind of four theories right there, and I'll let you know what I'm leaning to now. Going through here, I'm going to try to link this up with. There was a video sent to me by a viewer. I appreciate it. It was very interesting. I'm not sure I buy into it all the way, but an interesting perspective. And the way he was talking about it is his theory is that and kind of linking it to the Bible, to biblical, and from Revelation, and even in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And the way he presented it is that the Antichrist could present as an alien coming down with all these powers and influence to be able to heal, to be able to do all kinds of things, solve all of our problems, promise peace, prosperity, all of these things. It could be tied to AI, artificial intelligence. Some people have said that they believe AI could be the Antichrist. Interesting perspective, when you really think about it. But this theory about presenting as an alien, it kind of makes some sense. And I I lean towards these things being demonic or evil demonic spirits. That's what I lean to. I don't really know for sure, but if I saw one, I've never seen the UFO. I've never seen an alien materialize and try to abduct me or anything like that. If I did, my first thought is that it is demonic. That would be my first reaction. So, but this and I've read up too on this project, and I don't know how many of you have heard of this. Is They call it the Grand Faw, FAW, and it's also been called Dry Canal Project. Now, this is a project that started in 2020 over in the Middle East. It consists of railroads, highways, oil and gas pipelines that link Iraq, the Grand Faw port, to Europe, either directly or through Turkey via Syria. So what they're doing here, this could potentially transform Iraq into a major hub for transportation between Europe and Asia, even to the West. So, and they're saying that this could be operational as early as next year and be completed in 2025. This would be huge. This would be transformational. It could. It would have the potential to really make Iraq a big hub, a center point. See, the dogs have arrived. Hello. Um, and the point of what this article and this video is talking about is don't write off Babylon. I know Babylon is mentioned in Revelation, in the Bible, and some people think it's referring to the United States. I'm not so sure it is. I don't think it does. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of you do. I believe, and some people think Babylon is referring to Rome or a rebirth of Rome, the Roman Empire. I believe probably I would lean more towards it actually referring to Babylon and Iraq. And this theory was saying that the great deceiver, the Antichrist, could present there and make in the hub of the world at that time. Now, doesn't necessarily mean the United States is wiped off the map or just totally destroyed, whatever. A lot of people will say that, but it could mean that we're just not as big a player as we once were, and we're not. We're not now even. So think about it. Um, it can be debated for sure. Is Babylon America? Possibly. Um, it could be Babylon, Iraq, like I said. I think with the UFOs, and I tend to agree with this, the UFOs and all, with the military and the government really talking a lot about it, they could be laying the foundation for a spiritual deception, a big one, to usher in the Antichrist. Um, and that does kind of make sense to me. Now, I've also heard people say that the Project Bluebeam, which is referring to a plan by the United States military and the government to simulate with technology to simulate an alien invasion, to grab for as a power grab too, as well, to gain control, ultimate control, and that could bring in the Antichrist too. But you know, it's debatable, on either. Now, I tend to believe that our government, I think we give them too much credit at times, especially our military and our government, that I'm not sure they're capable of pulling something like that off. I don't know. I tend to think not. That's my gut. But it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that stuff. But then the point too is, and I believe this is, do not be deceived. And in Matthew 24, I'm going to read from that in a minute, but and Jesus warned, do not be deceived, because there will be many false prophets, false teachers to deal with. And, there's increased activity and talk about this. Like I said, it's interesting. There's a lot of chatter about it, but I tend to go with the demonic theory as as far as personally. In any case, we should stay prepared. Keep doing what we're doing, of course, and the main thing is to, yes, to not be deceived, because just like this scripture I'm about to read, is that it could be so powerful that many of the elect, many Christians could be deceived. I think many are even now already. If you think about the false teachers out there now, and it's written that more will come forward and say that I'm Jesus, or I'm a different Jesus, or I'm a different God, but I can solve all these problems. I can make it easy for you. So that is what we really need to be careful about and keep in mind. I think that's the important thing. The super important thing is to stay grounded in Jesus and the Word, of course, and keep praying. You know. All right, this is a passage from Matthew 24, verses 21 through 25 says, "For then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, 'Look, here is the Messiah,' or 'There he is,' do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect, if possible, even a short time. See, I have told you ahead of time." Now, great signs and wonders to deceive. You know, whoever this is that comes forward is going to have some power. Uh, the power, great power to deceive, and it will take discernment, and it will take prayer to discern this. But true believers, we will know it's not real Jesus, not the real thing. Okay, but that is what is coming. Is it coming in our lifetime? It very well could. It very well could. So that is my thoughts right now. Share yours. It's a fascinating subject. I believe it could be tied to the Bible as well. But let's keep preparing. Let's keep praying. Let's keep prioritizing. And let's stay safe out there. God bless you. I'll see you soon.